What is up, guys? It is Game 4. Welcome to New York Liberty Fan TV. I'm Kenny, and I'm here with my guest, Gabe Zoda. Gabe, what's up, man?
I'm doing well, bro. I'm super hyped up. You said that you were up all night, couldn't even wait for this one. Me, a little bit more reserved. I think I'm ready to go for tonight.
Dope, man. What are you thinking about tonight's matchup? What is it going to take for the Liberty to kind of get over that finals hump? Because Courtney Vandersloot said in that post game, Game 4 is kind of the hardest matchups, the hardest games when it's elimination and the other team has their back against the wall. What do you think it's going to take?
Well, I love the mindset, right? I think Sabrina said it perfectly. They got to take this like it's a do or die game. They have to pretend that this is the last game, right? You come out with that right mindset, and I think everything goes from there. Sandy Brondello said, hey, they haven't done anything yet. I mean, they're up.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity to finish the game tonight or the series tonight, but they still haven't done anything quite yet. They've carried that mindset throughout the entire season that no matter what it was, that they still haven't accomplished their final goal. I think those first 5 minutes, something that Sandy Brondello talked about this morning, those first 5 minutes will be very important.
Yes.
They have to come out with the right mindset. At this point, it's not about scheme anymore. They know what the other team's going to do. It's not about, okay, we have to move these chess pieces. No, at this point, it's who wants it more. We all know what's on the table. Now they got to just go do it.
Yeah, they got to go do it. So there's only one or two things that can happen after tonight. The New York Liberty will either head home WNBA champions for the first time ever in franchise history, or they will have to protect home court. Now, let's speak worst case scenario. For whatever reason, the game doesn't go as we want.
Sure.
We want it to go for the Liberty fans. How confident are you in, home court advantage at Barclays Center, knowing 18,000 people will probably be in attendance for that?
Well, I mean, you talk to the fans more than anybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know how they're feeling. A lot of fans that I've seen on Twitter, on social media, they don't want it to go to Game 5 for obvious reasons. They don't want to deal with that, all those emotions of how you got to. But you got to be confident, dude. I mean, come on, you got to have 18,000 plus. It's probably going to be a record-selling event in that situation, and you have an opportunity to win the championship in front of your home crowd. Fine, you don't win it in 4, but what better can you ask for this 30-for-30 season as it's been, or the past couple years,
yes,
to finish it at home where everybody can have it all come together. Then you have the parade a couple days after that. To me, that sounds like the perfect script.
It does.
But if you can win it earlier, you take that as well, obviously.
It does. I definitely will take the early win, but it does sound like the perfect script, Gabe, because it's something that I know a lot of fans would love to see. The New York Liberty winning its first ever franchise WNBA championship at home. That would be amazing to see. But I also do want to just speak about Sabrina Ionescu, because you also said something that kind of stood out to me. I was unable to sleep last night. How did Sabrina wake up this morning, and what did she say? What was it that she said that stood out to you?
Well, she said that she woke up really early this morning. She said that she woke up at 6 a.m. and was just kind of staring at the ceiling. She couldn't go back to bed. And we asked her, it's like, okay, what were you doing from 6 a.m. to now to kind of keep yourself awake or keep yourself motivated? And she just said clearly that, she watched a lot of Steph Curry highlights. And she said she's been watching a lot of Steph Curry highlights recently throughout the season to get herself motivated or in the right mind space. And to me, that's what stuck out to me, that, she's talked about Steph Curry. Steph Curry sent her that audio note after the game-winning shot that she hit. And they just have had such a great mentality, such a great relationship, as Curry has been a mentor for her. And Curry has finished these finals a couple of times in his career as well, against LeBron, against these great teams and great players. So if there's anyone to get mentored by, it's him. And to me, to have that relationship, to have that connection, the fact that she's prepped, ready to go, no matter if she got sleep or not last night, that Curry's got her back, I think that's big.
And I want to speak about the X factors for tonight, because we had a couple X factors. Obviously, in Game 2, it was Benijah Laney Hamilton with the 20-point performance. She had a big game, especially when Leo kind of took a step back. She only had 3 points. But in Game 3, obviously, we saw a heroic performance from Breanna Stewart, historic at that, and the shot 2.0. Who do you think we're going to need a big performance from? Who's the X factor in tonight's matchup?
I think it'll be Benijah. I think that she's kind of been the X factor throughout the season in her defensive effort. I think when she's able to give her all on that end, she said she's feeling a little bit better as the days kind of go on.
Yeah.
We saw that obviously explosion offensively. It seemed before that game where she exploded that her legs just weren't there all the time. And you could see it on defense and on offense with all of her shots missing short especially. You just don't have that leg power. But for whatever reason, she seems that after that game, she's been much better off, and I think it'll help her on defense. You can't allow this team to get all the rebounds, those second chance opportunities. The offensive rebounds is something that we saw at the end of that game one, where they weren't getting rebounds all game, but then at the end, then Minnesota was getting all those second opportunities.
When it mattered the most.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to stop that. I think Benijah will be big in limiting that happening tonight.
I like that. For me, it's she hasn't gotten a lot of minutes in the last game, but for me, it's Courtney Vandersloot off the bench. I think Courtney Vandersloot has played some really, really quality minutes in the little time that she's played. And having a Hall of Famer point guard off of your bench in Courtney Vandersloot, one thing that I would like to see, I would like to see the lineup of last year, that starting five. I want to see them on the floor when it's all said and done in that fourth quarter to kind of, it's them. This isn't Leo's battle. This isn't anybody's battle.
Okay.
It's them who lost the championship actually on this day last year, I believe. So I would love to see them kind of, the squad that was put together last year, that starting five, I would love to see them kind of like finish it out and close it out in Minnesota. But I'd like to see them on the floor. And I think Courtney Vandersloot has just, one big finals performance in her. That's just my X factor for tonight.
We've kind of been waiting for it, right?
Yeah.
And, we all have the Courtney Vandersloot truthers out there on the internet, and they all know you give Courtney Vandersloot some more run, she will find her offense. And she goes up and down on her aggressive. Does she want to score? Does she want to be more passive? And at times we see Courtney Vandersloot, she'll go, hey, I want to be more aggressive today. And she'll hit that lane when sometimes she'd make the pass, or she'll take that step back jump shot when we're used to her maybe just passing it off, dishing it off to somebody else. I think if because Minnesota's not game planning for Courtney Vandersloot to be an offensive factor.
Absolutely.
And that's no disrespect to Courtney Vandersloot, but you look at what's been going on in the series, she hasn't been that aggressor yet. So if she could provide that's little extra wrinkle to hold Minnesota, be like, whoa, we weren't expecting this. That's a great point. I think that could be a big difference in tonight's game.
And I think that was one of the key factors in game one for the Lynx with Natisha Heidemann, with her 10 points off the bench and us not being able to keep a body in front of her. I think that was one of those key factors because I don't believe the Liberty kind of prepared for that. Mm-hmm. And I think I agree with you 100%. They're not preparing for Courtney Vandersloot, and I'm expecting a big game from her tonight. Before we go, though, I do want to speak about some upcoming milestones. Sandy Brondello was one win from passing Richie Adebayo for the most playoff coaching wins in franchise history at 15. So shout out to her. Also, speaking of Courtney Vandersloot with her steal in that last game actually tied for second most all-time playoff steals. So I want to shout Courtney Vandersloot out because I didn't see anybody, post about that one. So we want to give Courtney her love and everything like that. But I will drop some of these upcoming milestones on this video just so you guys can see. Is there anything else you want to chat about before we go?
Nah, man.
Look.
Give us those milestones. Let's see JJ get in the glass. A lot of people have been talking about JJ being more inside the paint. And Sabrina this morning talked about, I guess I do have something to talk about. Sabrina this morning talked about they've been such a good three-point shooting team because they work inside out and not outside in. So I think JJ, we've seen her a lot on the perimeter. If she could, once again, emphasize getting down low early, it'll open up the threes later. I think that'll be huge. But yeah, give us some more milestones, brother. And
Sabrina is 6 assists away from moving into second on the Liberty's all-time playoff assist list. Do you think she's going to achieve this milestone tonight, 6 assists?
I think so. I mean, she wears Geppetto around her necklace every single day. A lot of people don't know what it is. It is Geppetto. It is the Kobe nickname for her. But what does that mean? It means she's manipulating with the defenses, so she can make those plays all the time. We saw the nice dish to JJ get the lead last game. So why not 6 assists? I think she could have a big night if the threes aren't going in. She hasn't been as Chucky, I should say. I mean,
She hasn't.
Earlier in the season, she'll hit a couple threes early, and then she'll just keep shooting. And then you look out, and it's like 4 for 13. You're like, what in the world just happened? Recently, she's dialed it down. Well, she'll get hot, but when she starts missing, then she'll start dishing it off a lot more. So, yeah, why not?
And while you say that, I could automatically think about, I think, was that game 2 where, she had a decent performance, but she only shot.
It was like 5 for 9 or
Yeah,
something.
it was 5 for 9, but she had 12 points in that first half. But she finished the game with 14 points. She only shot the ball once in that second half. But that was one of her better defensive performances all season. I actually want to highlight Sabrina's defense this postseason because I don't think we're speaking about it enough. Like her impact on the defensive side. She's diving for loose balls. Mm-hmm. She's forcing turnovers. I also want to go back to that game 2 heroic 3-ball from Leonie Fibish.
Yeah.
Who forced that turnover? It was Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu who put that pressure on Courtney Williams. She was staying in front of Courtney Williams a lot, which is not an easy task at all if you see Courtney Williams. Yeah. So shout out to Sabrina for what she's doing on the defensive end. I think she heard a lot about last year and all of the stuff that people were saying during the finals, how, she was a bad perimeter defender. Yeah. And she's kind of, putting the naysayers to night-night.
Yeah, no, I asked Sabrina yesterday about her defense, and she talked about how it's such a big area of growth for her and how important, obviously, it is. It's that extra notch where you're in the finals, you have that experience now where you know what the other team is going up against and what they're going to bring, and she knows that she needs to really keep sliding her feet. She knows the importance of that defense because it's been that defense, really, for this Liberty team that has been the difference this year compared to last. The fact that they are so together on defense, the fact that they communicate so well, it took that year to get that chemistry on defense, and we're seeing it in full effect. And Sabrina, as you said, I mean, she's been spectacular defensively.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular defensively. We have Jonquel Jones, who is 6 rebounds away from moving into 6th on the WNBA's all-time postseason rebounding list.
That could happen.
That can obviously happen. Yeah. If we don't see Jonquel Jones getting 6 rebounds tonight, then that means it's going to be a huge problem for the Liberty. So I'm looking forward to see JJ. Again, like what she's doing on the glass is we had a game where we out-rebounded. At the game that we lost, actually, we out-rebounded them. Was it 44-24?
Something like that.
And the Liberty had 20 offensive rebounds. That, like, they just rebound the ball a lot better than the Minnesota Lynx. So it's going to take that kind of rebounding. What was it that Pat Summitt says? Defense wins games, but rebounding wins championships. Yep. And that's something that we're going to need tonight. And, Stewie, Brianna Stewart is 25 points from passing Diana Taurasi for third most points in WNBA Finals history at 321. Do you think Stewie could give us another huge performance? We had 30 for 30 that last game, 31 points, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. Those 4 blocks were all in the second half, I believe. And, it was just an all-out heroic MVP kind of performance. Yeah. What kind of performance do you think we need from Stewie tonight? Will she break this milestone and get 25? Do we need a 30-burger? What do we need from Stewie?
Well, you said, do we need a 30-burger, right? That's the biggest question because it's all dependent on what the other players are doing. Because the only reason why Stewie went into that mode was because she knew she had to. She had that mindset. Yeah. She had that mindset. We're not losing this effing game, right? Yeah. We're not losing this game. So she had to go into that next level, that Dragon Ball Ultra Instinct mode, right? She had to do that. If she has to do that, of course she will, right? And now the defensive end as well. She had one game, already 7 steals. The next game, she gets 4 blocks, right? She's obviously locked in defensively, but offensively, I hate to be this cliche, but it depends what the defense is giving her, right? And if it's a Sabrina night, then Sabrina's going to go off and get 30. If it's a JJ night, then JJ's going to get 25, 27, right? But if it's Stewie and she needs to take that momentum and say, hey, it's up to me to win this championship, she's going to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you 100%. Guys, you heard it here first. This is New York Liberty Fan TV. I am Kenny Saint-Vil. This is my guy, Gabe Zoda. Check out Gabe on SSN New York Liberty. Tell him where to follow you because you have great content and great stuff on X and Instagram. So tell them where they can follow you.
At SSN_Liberty. That's where I'm at. You can follow me. A lot of reporting in the off season. We're gonna have a lot more fun content. We'll see what that comes out with as well. And SSN_Liberty on X. Let's get that going.
Let's go get this dub, guys. Appreciate you, Gabe.
You got it.